Okay, hello everyone. We've got here the indirect commands. Again, 4 sentences, we'll go through them together, English into Latin, good practice for an exam. Peroneus advised his son to send the boys away unharmed, etc. Peroneus advised his son to send the Romans away unharmed. This is from the Caudine Forks passage that we have translated, actually with the year 12s, so I haven't translated this with you. Peroneus filium monuit. Peroneus warned his son, advised his son. So again, these indirect commands, look for any words of commanding. That can be commanding, persuading, advising, etc., etc. Begging, anything like that, even though it might not seem like particularly a command. Peroneus warned his son, advised his son. So as soon as I see monuit, I'm looking for ut plus the subjunctive. And I'm looking at the tense, monuit, which is going to be the perfect tense. So Peroneus warned his son to send Dimiteret. Remember, our sequence of tenses dependent on the initial verb. Peroneus warned his son, advised his son to send the Romans away in violatos, unharmed. Or indeed, I suppose there are a number of different words that we could use for unharmed, but in violatos is absolutely. Next bit, the boys will ask their fathers to give them money. Pueri, patres, rogabunt. Now, notice here, I've asked for the future tense. They will ask their fathers. So asking, rogabunt, means that it's going to be followed by ut plus the subjunctive, which means that the boys will ask their fathers to give them, ut dent, present subjunctive. The boys will ask their fathers to give them money. Dent, therefore, present subjunctive, because the initial verb is in the primary sequence and is a few. Many women were begging that the Romans destroy the unfair. This is probably related to the taxation law, which eventually was repealed, and it had actually started off where women had to give all of their money. This was when Romans were trying to get money together to fight against the Carthaginians, but then they decided they quite liked the idea that women weren't allowed to possess wealth. The women decided this was unfair, and eventually the law was repealed. Multi orabant, nice little early instance of feminism in action. Multi orabant, many women were orabant. Here's this word, begging. My apologies, that's a plane flying overhead. Many women were begging, ut, that the Romans, so see a begging word, then I'm looking for the indirect command ut plus the subjunctive. Many women, multi. Notice this word multi. Remember, this happens all the time. Adjective being placed in the masculine or feminine or indeed neuter, therefore does not need to necessarily have the word weary or feminae or res or anything like that coming in there. So it means many women were begging that the Romans delerent, imperfect subjunctive, that the Romans destroy the unjust law. Marcus had persuaded Quintus to say Marcus Quinto persuasit, again persuading, taking the same grammatical structure as an indirect command. Marcus persuaded Quintus ut to proficeretur, deponent verb, so it looks passive but is in fact active, and therefore it's going to be what appears to be a passive subjunctive third person singular. Marcus persuaded, it's going to be, I've said had in the English, but I've translated it as if it was just persuaded. Marcus persuaded, perfect tense. Marcus persuaded Quintus to, and whether or not it was had or if it was just perfect persuaded, it would still be proficeretur, to set out with him. And therefore we have there our different indirect commands. Look for ordering, asking, begging, persuading, etc., etc. Well done, and I'll see you all next lesson.